Welcome everyone to a day in the life of a founder working from home. I'm actually in Charlotte, but it is very nostalgic because I did used to film these types of videos when I was here, like living at home in my bedroom. So I was like, you know what? This is fitting. And today I am just gonna walk you through and kind of talk through what we're doing today and my roles, responsibilities, everything like that. So if you are a startup founder, this vlog is going to be interesting to you. And if you are not a startup founder, but you are wanting to like just get an inside scoop of what it's like to own your own business or to be a founder, hopefully this is interesting to you. Because I love making content like this, because when I was starting Rella, this is the type of content I wanted to see. I wanted to get inspired, and honestly, I've been kind of feeling like I'm been in a rut just with like so many different aspects of my life. So maybe I need to go through YouTube and like watch some of this type of content to get me re-inspired. And if you have any other startup founders that you guys like to follow, let me know. My current favorites are Jay Hoovy. He is the founder of Stan, and I am so impressed with him and what he has built at Stan. They have $9 million in ARR. They're profitable already. Did raise, I believe, like $5.5 million in his seed round. But I just, one, think Stan is such an amazing product, but I also really just like him as a person. Like I have, like me and him are friends and we know each other, and he's so encouraging and supportive. And he was one of the first founders to look at my pitch deck and give me advice. I don't know, I just like people like that are hard to find in this industry, and he is one of the good ones. So I'm so happy that his company is doing well, and he just like puts so much information out there that he's one of my favorite resources. He's one of my favorites. I'll have him linked down below. And then also I love Grace Beverly, because there's not that many like women founders that are on YouTube that post like lifestyle content like myself. Don't get me wrong, I love posting content about Rella, but I also have a podcast, so I like posting about that. And she also has that and posts her podcast interviews. I like posting about my friends and behind the scenes and fashion and beauty and all of this stuff. And I don't want my content to like just solely be founder focused. And so I really look up to her because she has like multiple successful companies, and she is like so incredible with content. And I don't know, it's just, I really like her. Anyways, those two are my favorites for like startup content. So I might go through tonight and like instead of watching TV or TikTok, I might go through and like watch some of that content. Just to like re-inspire myself. It's Monday morning, so we always start our Mondays with an all hands meeting. That pretty much just means that the entire team is on a meeting for 30 minutes and we go through all of the major updates. So I'll kind of go through our outline for you so you can see what I'm talking about. We always start up with our mission. Our mission is to give people access to change their lives through social media by helping them grow. And so that when I started Rella, it was because there wasn't a tool out there for Rella, and I felt super disorganized, and I just felt like, how could I grow my business if I could not even like manage my business with like all of these different tools that were out there? I am so fortunate that I get to do social media as a full-time job, but it was because I kind of like forced myself to piece together these systems. And when I was helping other creators out, I just felt like there was nothing out there that I could like give them to be like, here, use this and this will help you out exponentially. It was kind of like, you're on your own, kid, figure it out yourself. And so that's kind of always been our mission. Just we want to make people change their lives through social media like it did mine. Our vision though is to be the go-to solution for any creative professional or social media powered business, so creators and their teams, so that they can succeed in doing what they love. It stems back to the fact that I was able to make this a full-time job, and that literally changed my life. And I want other people to experience that too, because no matter what type of content you make, no matter what, you know, what social media does for you, whether you're a content creator or not, like if you are a business owner, social media should be something like a key pillar and something that you use to like grow. Like whether you have a podcast for your business or you post on TikTok for your business, social media opens doors no matter what it is, whether you're an influencer or a business owner. And I think the lines are kind of blurring. Like every business owner is going to eventually need to lean into content and become a content creator. I'm not saying they need to be an influencer, but they need to be generating content for their business. And a lot of content creators, if you want to be successful, are going to become business owners. You're a business yourself if you're a content creator. That's who we want to focus on. So we're not just for like creators, we're for managers, but eventually we want to be for small business owners and anyone that just powers their business through social media. So that's kind of our long-term vision, but we're starting right now with creators and managers. Then we talk about our main quarterly goal. We have some revenue goals that we want to hit. Then we go into dev. So what are the dev updates? Then we go into customer bugs. What were the big bugs this week? Did we fix them? Then we go into design. So any design updates. Then we go into marketing, any marketing updates. And we go into, I just added one because we are now focusing on like creator teams / managers, so like people that are making money. So we need to build out a sales pipeline and a sales funnel. So I just added sales as something that we need to start talking about every week and getting an update for that. We just like also have a chance to bond as a team. We're a remote team, so we'll ask each other about how the weekend went, what the plans are for the week. We'll have a little chit chat, and all of that is done in 30 minutes. Big believer that meetings should not be more than 30 minutes. Sometimes they go over, like today actually went over, it went to 35 minutes, but in general, I think you can get everything done in 30 minutes. And then I had a marketing meeting right afterwards. So in that meeting, we talked about our upcoming webinar. We talked about transitioning our community from Discord to Slack again. We talked about how, like, everything that's involved in doing that. We talked about our email marketing platform, which is Customer.io. And then we talked about the new features and how we're going to be announcing those. And then I started feeling really overwhelmed, so I sent a Slack message out to my co-founders and all of like the owners of Rella, and just with like updates and like things I've been feeling overwhelmed with. This is how I started the message. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed about our current systems / processes, so want to brainstorm how to improve this and implement better systems. And with that, I bullet pointed design, marketing, user retention, and our data, like how we're tracking and viewing our data. And then I mentioned we're building super quickly, which is great, but I don't want to just build and everything else falls behind, or we go too fast and lose the process that will actually help bring customers and retain customers. Sorry if this is a lot, we can jump on a call, but I didn't want to lose this because I was thinking about it this weekend because I sent this like fat message out, you know, and that's always intimidating when you get that in a text. So anyways, that's how my morning has been. I have a bunch of stuff on my to-do list. I need to send out some investor updates, which I need to make that investor update. I need to segment user calls and start reaching out to users for feedback. I need to finalize the webinar. I have a bunch of calls and I have an investor call later today, which always makes me nervous for some reason, which I never know why, because our investors are amazing. I have a few calls with some managers. And then I'm actually speaking at a university on next week, a week from today. Oh my gosh, I need to plan that out. And so I have a meeting with the president of that university. It's in Miami. I'm going to speak at Barry University, but I have a meeting with the president of that university to talk about just like the information that I'm going to be presenting, which I haven't even thought about. That's kind of on my to-do list today. I have a lot to get done, and I just feel like I'm just a little overwhelmed. And then tomorrow I actually go to New York City for like such a short period of time. I go for like a total of maybe like 20 hours for an investor dinner tomorrow. So I'm gonna land at 2, I have the dinner at 7, and then I leave at 7 a.m. the next day. Anyways, those are all my updates, and I'm just going to get to work, and I will fill you in as I continue with the day. I wanted to thank Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. If you don't know what Squarespace is, it is the best way to build your online website, and I am a firm believer that everyone should have an online presence, but especially if you are a business owner or a content creator. On Squarespace, not only can you build a website for any type of business, but now you can have courses, you can even have memberships on there, and it is just the best way to grow a business online. We use Squarespace for Rella's website, and it's so convenient because we don't need to get our developers or engineers involved. We can customize and create everything ourselves, and it looks so beautiful and professional. And we also just added our merch onto Squarespace, so if you want to actually shop our merch, you can go check it out. If you want to get 10% off your first Squarespace order, you can use my code NatalieBarbu or go to squarespace.com/NatalieBarbu. Hours and hours later, I had my calls, I went to my lunch, and I hate that like I'm just kind of like talking about what I'm doing, but for the most part, I can't really record. I guess I could kind of record my calls. I pretty much had a call with a manager who gave a bunch of feedback, and here was the feedback that he gave. I just don't like recording calls and like not telling the other person. I just feel a little bad about that. But pretty much he said that it's great that we're focusing on something that other companies don't focus on. A lot of companies focus on media kits, whereas we are focusing on the project management side of things. He said that he really needs a CRM portion where he can like view the status and the flow of a campaign, which is coming soon in the next few weeks. He also said that he pretty much uses everything short of just like writing on his hand. Like he uses Notes, Google Drive, project management tools. And so I was like, listen, get rid of them and use Rella. And then I mentioned everything that we're coming out with, like the tags and things like that, which he really, really liked. He mentioned a competitor of ours that he said he was kind of disappointed in because they kept saying that they were going to implement these things and then they never did. He also said he uses this other tool for media kits, and he believes that they're going to release more stuff for managers, but they're focused a lot on AI, which we're really not focused on AI. We are staying in our lane. I don't want to get caught up with these like buzzwords just because they're buzzwords. I think as a tech founder, there's a lot of things that you can kind of get wrapped up in. Like last year, for example, a year and a half ago, everyone was asking us, are we implementing Web3? And now Web3 is like dead. It seems like it's like not part of the conversation. Whereas this year, people are asking us, how are we implementing AI? And I don't think AI is going to die. I do think that that's going to get a little bit more like ground than Web3. I just think that there's going to be similar to Web3. There were so many people building that Web3 is going to become a thing. It's just such a small percentage of the startups that said Web3 are actually going to make it. And I think it's the same with AI, where there's a ton of startups that are using AI. It's such a small percentage that are going to make it. Like, I don't think AI is going to die, but I think we're going to have a bubble and it's going to burst, and only the best will survive in terms of AI, or only, not even the best. I think only the things that are like actually useful. I think there's a lot of things that AI can do that's not actually providing value and it's not actually useful, whereas you have to find the things that are actually useful and that are helpful. So we are not really focused on AI unless it actually is value providing. So if you guys have ideas, let us know. But there is one thing we're using AI for, which I think is going to be really, really cool, which is coming up, but it's actually like providing value. But I don't consider us an AI company. The language and like the model that ChatGPT is on is open to anyone to use. So there's so many companies that there's nothing special about them. It's just like a prompt within ChatGPT that they're making into full-fledged companies. So I don't really understand what sets them apart, because anyone can replicate that, you know? Like if our whole company was like, we're gonna build a content calendar for you, all you have to do is like put in your niche and your, you know, your brand and like the content, like previous examples of content, and then we'll build out a 30-day content calendar for you. Like, you could go into ChatGPT and do that, fill in, like give ChatGPT that information about you, and it will spit out a content calendar in the same exact way that if we built an entire app off of that, we would do, because we're using ChatGPT's like language, if that makes sense. So anyways, we're not an AI company. He also said that he really likes the fact that we can like share previews, and then people can like leave comments on the previews, and you can send it to brands, and the brands can like download it and copy the caption and all of that. And you can actually get feedback directly on Rella, and everything saves in one place. And then another piece of feedback he gave us was that he wants to involve his creators so that they can like upload content, but he doesn't necessarily want the creators to see everything that he's doing. Like, he does want part of it to be internal. So that's where we're thinking as a team which permissions to set. Like right now, if you had a collaborator, they can kind of see everything, whereas we're thinking about permissions and what that would look like. Like if you invite a collaborator but maybe they can only like see a page, you know, they don't have access to your entire workspace. Or something else that we're thinking about is you can send them a link to upload content, but they don't have access to the entire workspace. So we're thinking about that, and he also has about 20 creators on his roster. It's kind of a weird, that was that call. And then I just had a call with Natasha, and we just had a huddle, and we were like working on some things internally. So I've been sitting here for a really long time. I did go and stop and get lunch and saw my friend's baby, but that was pretty much it. Also, I just have something so funny to show you. All of these are my camera batteries. I have more, and every single one of these is dead. I need to charge all of these. Like, what is the point of having all of these batteries? There's another one in here, if they're all gonna be dead at the same time. And the one that you guys are on right now is also about to die. So, yay.